we're going to build nets and explore properties of three-dimensional figures. This is what we had talked about a little bit yesterday. Somebody asked when we were going to do it. Today is the day. You should be able, hopefully, to describe properties of three-dimensional figures by the end of our lesson. And here are some examples of what the masterpieces you will create today. Okay? So, let's look at our notes first and go over those. This is basically, these notes are going to be just your definitions and a little rundown of what a three-dimensional figure is, and it gives you examples of it so you can look at it. And we're going to use these a little later today. So, a three-dimensional figure has length, width, and height. When you hear length, width, and height, what does that make you think of? Which is what? Volume. It's the formula of volume. And yes, it is always not 3 squared, but it's always cube. Your answer is always cube. Okay, so you were thinking right, but you didn't say it right. A net is a 2-dimensional pattern of a 3-dimensional figure. So, a net. I found these yesterday. I was very excited. No. So, what happens when you take a 3-dimensional figure and you flatten it out? We had already looked at our cube, I think, was it last week maybe?
No, we didn't. We never looked at the cube.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Maybe not in this class, but we did in another class.
We did it with our little blocks.
Thank you. See? Okay, so when you take it and you flatten it out, it looks like this. So this was a cube, a 3-dimensional figure, a cube. It had sides, vertex, edges, bases. When you flatten it out, this is a net. And there's an example of that on our notes. Okay, so a net is a 2-dimensional pattern of a 3-dimensional figure. You can use a net to build a 3-dimensional figure. So, we can see that clearly by just rebuilding our cube back. That's right. We took a 2-dimensional, and there you go. A cube, which is this, is a 3-dimensional figure with 6 faces that are congruent squares. Congruent figures have the same size, same shape, which we went over that when I said what is congruent, you said it means equal. So this is a cube. If we counted, it's easier to look at this because it already has perfect dots on it. So if we looked at it, you would see that there are 1, 2, 3, gotta find it, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces to a cube. The faces, meaning this part, there are 6 of these. Okay? A rectangular prism is a 3-dimensional shape or figure with 6 rectangular faces. This would be this is an example of that.
That's what it looks like.
Opposite faces are parallel and congruent. A face is a flat surface. We have 3-dimensional figures, has length, width, and height. So what do you think we're going to be doing, not today, but maybe later on in another lesson? Just by reading, a 3-dimensional figure has length, width, and height. Measuring in volume, that's right. Before we did it, we had those unit cubes that made up our 3-dimensional figures. And all we had to do is count. But now, later on in other assignments, we are going to have to be able to measure our 3-dimensional shapes without the unit cubes being there and be able to find the volume with it. Okay, so here's an example of a shape. It points out the face is a flat surface. It tells you that the vertex, which is this. The vertex is a point where 3 or more faces meet, and then the edges are going to be here. The edges are where 2 faces meet. Prisms are 3-dimensional figures. A prism has at least 3 faces that are rectangle. The top and bottom faces are called bases. They are congruent, parallel polygons, and here are 3 3-dimensional figures that we are going to talk about today and build today. So, you're going to need to keep that out and glue it in your notebooks. So, get your math book out. Get your math book out and turn to page 9. No, we're going backwards. We're doing 7 then 6 because we're going to do the building last. Because that'll take us the longest. 9:42. 9:42. Guided practice. Number 1 says, to describe the faces, edges, and vertices of the 3-dimensional figure, then identify it. So, if we're identifying it, we're giving it a what? A name. Right. So that's where you're going to need your math notes. Right. So, faces. This figure has blank faces. How many faces does this figure have? 5. Yes. 5 faces. And the blank bases are congruent and parallel. The bases are going to be this and this. The bottom and the top. What shape is that? Triangular.
Pyramid.
A triangular prism.
Okay. The other faces are what shape?
Squares.
Rectangles. It does kind of look squarish, but. So, we've identified the faces. Look at the edges. There are blank
6.
edges. The edges that form the vertical sides of the rectangles are parallel and blank. The edges aren't just what's on the side, guys. It would be this and this and this and this, and then it would be the bottom also. 9. Okay? So what's the last part? Parallel and congruent. Good. Now the vertices, which are the pointy parts. You can call them pointy parts, but
6.
proper name is vertices. This figure has blank of them. 6. So the figure is a
Triangular prism.
Y'all are so smart.
Thank you.
It gives you the shape. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. So independent practice, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do 2 through 5. And then I'm going to call on some of you to tell me your description and what you identify the figure as. Use your notes if you have to. You could put faces equals the number, edges equals the number, vertices equals. And then the shape, yeah, and then the shape is a whatever. Okay, John David, do number 2 for us. Check your answer, see if you agree. If you don't agree, then let's talk about it. See what you got, see what he got.
There are. Can I bring my book with me so I can write?
Yeah, a little now.
There, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, there, 6 spaces. The square bases.
That's great that you put that we only need faces, how many faces, how many edges, and how many vertices for the next person that comes up. That's all you have to list. And then, of course, the name of the figure. Are you agreeing? He says 8 vertices, is he right?
Yes.
Okay, and what's our shape? Hopefully I don't pick John David's number. Number 2. Are we here? Is number 2 here? So 6 faces, there are 12 edges, and there are 8 vertices, and the shape is a cube.
How is there 5 faces? I mean, how is there 6 faces?
Okay? This is a cube. Okay. Does that mean you got it? Okay. So just put faces equals and then the number, edges equals and then the number, so we can go a little faster. Hmm? Check your answers with hers. 5 faces. Those are called vertices. Look. Right there. So when you're describing it on a test or something like that, you need to put that word instead of point. Okay? That way you're used to writing the math term. Well, when you look at it, see it's pointed. So that's why she wrote that. Okay, 5 faces, 6 vertices, and 9 edges. It's not just a triangle. It's a what?
Triangular prism.
Triangular prism. Fix it for us. Okay? Is everybody good on that? Any questions? As good as it's gonna get. Okay. I'm gonna call on you and you just say it to us. I don't wanna run out of time for our final thing. Number 19. Okay. 15.
5 faces, 9 edges, and 6 vertices. And it is a triangular prism.
Good. 5 faces, 9 edges, 6 vertices, and it's a triangular prism. Did everybody get that? Okay. And then number 5. Number 20.
There are 6 faces.
Uh-huh.
8 vertices.
Okay.
And 8 edges. Wait, no,
Count
9
again.
edges.
Count again. What's your other? Looking at your.
He didn't finish it now.
Let's help them out.
12.
Chloe, there are 12 edges, and the shape is a what? Rectangular prism. Okay, good. So, now for the building your own.
Yay!
I have 3 options here. I have a rectangular prism net, a cube net, and a triangular prism net. I went ahead and did my own, so if you needed help, you could look and see. I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do. Which net, you can choose whichever net you want out of the 3, okay? But we have to answer questions on it. Okay? The questions say, it's a 3-dimensional shape attributes. So that means you're describing the shape you chose. You answer the following questions about the 3-dimensional shapes you chose. What is the name of your net? How many faces does your shape have? How many vertices? How many edges? And what is the base of your shape called? Okay? So you're going to get one of these also. I'm going to let, by group, come up and choose their net, and then I'm going to hand everybody one of these. When you're finished, and this is going to be for a little 20-point grade. That's why you're getting to use your notes and your workbook that we just went over. Okay? So use those things. When you're finished, you get your exit ticket and you work it. But you hold on to it because you're going to peer assess each other. That means you're going to swap with her and you're going to make sure she's filled it in correctly. This is on volume, so we've already done this. This is just a review. We're taking our 3-dimensional figures and we're doing volume without the unit cubes. So this is just like a little refresher of what we've already done with finding volume with the little cube unit cubes, okay? So hold on to it until your partner's finished and then you check each other's. Make sure they got it right. Any questions? I'll let you switch with Savannah. So when you get ready to do your exit ticket, you can switch with her. And Matthew, y'all can switch. Okay? Any questions before I let you choose your nets? You're going to need scissors and glue. And do y'all have your tape in your boxes? You're probably going to need tape. If you don't have tape and your partner that you're sitting with does, then just say, hey, I don't want to use this glue though, so I'm going to give you some glue. Because that's going to take too long to dry.
Can you just use tape?
Okay.
Well, you might need a little glue, so I'm going to get it out. And those of you who didn't keep your scissors, there's extra that over here too. So everything you need, you're going to find right here. If you don't have it in your box. Yes, like a triangular prism. Rectangular prism. We're going to do rectangular. Yes.
I was gonna ask if we had
We got to get going.
regular glue in our box, but we got glue sticks work better, could we use glue sticks?
Either or. Whatever gets your shape into a 3D shape. But I don't want you to use the Elmer's glue because it's going to be too messy and it's going to be too wet and it's not going to dry. So your options are the glue I've provided and the tape you have at your desk. Got it? So this group of boys, I can't say group of boys, this group here, choose your shape. Take one and pass it back. This group may go choose their shape. You have to cut it out. You have to cut it out. And fold along each line. You're going to cut it out and fold along each line, and that's how it's going to go together. I'm going to pass around those examples so you can look at it. Yes, this group has to choose. Did everybody get a set of questions? Are they?
Here you go.
Here, take it and check it out and then pass it back, okay? Yes, just group them up. They're in that box. If you don't have scissors or glue, it's back there on that desk. Just take it and look at it if you need to and pass it back to see. That isn't the kind I told you to use, so you need to put it up and go with the other two. Turn around and do your words. Thank you.
Why are they
think the rectangular prism, why do you think it's named a rectangular prism? Because its bases are rectangular. And what about a triangular prism?
Space is triangle.
Even though it has rectangular bases, it also has triangular bases. Well, it has rectangular faces, but it has triangular bases. And what about the cube?
A square.
It's made up of
Squares.
squares. Does anybody need to look at an example?
Cube.
I think that's your group. You fold it at every corner. You, right now, start folding it at every corner.
Can you just take this?
Yes. I bet you just say that. Did I say that? Don't say you don't think you're going to get it right, but you are going to get it right. And once everything's folded, you simply put it together. Think? See how it's going to go?
No, you don't tape them down. Don't tape them down. That's to attach to the other thing. Where's the rectangular prism?
Oh, it's... Maybe I should have built them in front of you. Here. Look if you're... You take your paper. I should have built them in front of you. You take it and you fold it along every line that it provides you. You fold every line. Fold it and then unfold it. Fold it, unfold it. Okay? Until every line, even the little flaps, are folded down.
Do they go on the inside?
Okay. Then after they're all folded, kind of work with it and see how it's going to tape together. The flaps go on the inside of the shape. They don't stick out on the outside of the shape. And then you can start taping or gluing. And then
Can you tape it like on the outside or just tape on the inside so you can
it has to be taped on the outside. You can't tape it on the inside or it'll close the whole thing up. Sorry.
How do you tape it on the inside?
That's what I just said. You can't. 'Cause that would be hard. Yeah, you can use glue on the inside. You gotta put it together and then you start taping.
Oh, almost done.
We are going to run out of time if you don't stop talking and just try to get your figure together. You need to raise your hand if you need my help and I will come help you. But if your neighbor can't do it and you can't do it, then talking to your neighbor isn't going to get it. You still have to answer your questions, which that's the easy part. You gotta be able to see yourself. Yeah, other side and tape it. Don't try to fold every single side and keep your tape. Now answer your questions, you're done. You have to take one side at a time, guys. You can't hold it all together and manage to tape it. Perfect, now, start answering your questions. Take this, fold it, tape it. Okay? Tape another side. You tell me, that's what the questions are there for. That's what you have notes for. So you can tell me what it is.
Number the faces
That's a very good idea.
Should we throw it away?
Just find my piece of paper.
Should we throw it away?
Trying to take the inside.
Should we throw it away? Okay. Luke, Luke.
Miss Hawks, I think I did backwards.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, if you're done, girls, you need to turn around and answer your questions. I'll help Catherine. You can help yourself. Never estimate how long I'm going. Okay. Just take those two right there and then we could be done. Okay, they're up there, so you'll staple that. Try to put your name on your shape. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, when you're done, you get your exit ticket. Where can we keep these for now? On the windowsill? Okay. Put your shape on the windowsill and turn your paper in back there. Get your ticket. Matthew, Matthew, Matthew. Turn it over.
Okay, put Caroline on.
Put your shape
Put it
on
in the
the,
slot.
put your shape on the windowsill.
It looks like a little camper. Luke, get your stuff done. Luke, Luke.
Yeah. Please. Help her out, please. It's up here. Print this with the info.
Top and bottom. On my desk.
You're gonna put your shape on the windowsill and your paper back there.
Should we keep this until we finish this? Yeah, we should put this together.
Same thing, it's just plural. Plural. So she's done. No, you're checking each other's. Yes. Put your shape on the windowsill and your paper. Remember how wide is your side? So, think of that when you're trying to find your height. Height would be how tall you are. So your length will be together. How wide is your side? What'd you make? So what are your
Fingers line.
Yeah.
Height, length, width. Hit. Over here.